What's cracking, everybody? This is Noble Lost Pause. Today we're going to take a quick look at Final Fantasy III by Square Enix. And if you did not know that Square Enix made this game, I feel very, very sad for you. I mean, who doesn't know the big name of Square Enix nowadays, and the Final Fantasy brand even? So yes, let's just go on with the quick look here. What is this game? It's a JRPG, and it is also a port of a DS game over to the PC, which was originally ported from the NES game, and all the other remakes in between on the phone, the Ouya, all that other crap. This game has been around a few places, but today we're taking a quick look at the one on Steam. So yes, I'll start off by going over the options menu, which is not here. It's actually in the launcher outside, but the only thing on that launcher was this ability to change the resolution / refresh rate. But at least it goes up to 1080p, so I'll give it that. But Square Enix has usually been pretty good about its ports and just bringing stuff to Steam in its options menu. So I'm a bit sad that you're not able to customize at least anti-aliasing, because there is some bad cases of jaggies in this game, especially so since it's been blown up so much. That anti-aliasing really would have helped this game, but it's just what it is. So let's just go into this and show you what this game is and how it looks. And there I am right now, and this guy just popped out. Ooh, a little bit close there, a little bit close. Let's turn away. And so I got this guy right here. I'll try not to spoil too much of the story for you, so I'll just be wandering around and tell you what this game is. Well, first let's look up the menu here just to show you who these guys are and go over the story here. You got Lunith, your main hero. He's basically been dropped into a whole Dark Souls style, and met this crystal who grants him powers and gives him on the quest to save the world with Ark, Refia, and Ingus. And each character kind of has their own story going from, like, Ark's your best friend, childhood friend, Refia is the girl of a blacksmith, and Ingus is the knight to a princess and a kingdom in general. You know, nothing groundbreaking there, and the fact that you want to save the world is nothing new, but this game is pretty old, and, you know, standards are different from today, being overly complicated and things like that. But I don't care. I just want a good game, good JRPG, because it's been few and far between since I found one, and it's nice to see something on the market here, even if it is a game that you may or not already played. But still, that's what it is. But let's go over some of the neat aspects of this right now, like the job system, the ability for any one of your characters to change who and what they are, even their appearance. So bam, let's just start with this guy right here. Now everybody does start off as a freelancer who you're able to level up and max and gain different abilities and so on, and go on to more specific classes like Geomancers and other things such as that as you unlock and go later down the trees and the lines, which is nice. And each class is not necessarily better than the other. They specialize in different aspects, like the monk, or actually let's just go with the freelancer, who's like the jack of all trades, and who's able to just wield any weapon and use any magic, but it's not really great at any one thing, while the warrior is great at tanking and taking hits, but it's not able to use magic. And the white mage is the exact opposite, who's able to heal, but not really attack that well, and wears pretty much no armor. And the black mage is kind of very similar, who's just great at attack magic. He's also able to use bows, which is, in my opinion, really overpowered, because those bows are amazing. And even on a black mage is able to wield devastating magic and use the bow is insane in general. But, you know, it is cloth wearing or leather wearing, and not exactly the best. But yeah, that's what that is there. So it's got good flexibility and stuff that you want. But if I wanted to change, like say if I wanted to change my my white mage into like I'm sick of seeing him as my healer. Let's just go with the red mage. See what that is there. It'll take two battles with reduced stats in order for him to be this new job here for us. So you do get a downside for changing classes, but the more similar they are to your current job spec, and just So boom, nice little change there. He looks pretty now, even more pretty and fabulous. So there you go. But you know, the more similar they are to your old job, and the more levels you have on them, the quicker it'll take to eventually be 0. You can just immediately change with no penalty, which is nice. So for now, let's equip this guy up here, and let's see if I can equip him with anything here. And I can. So let's give him this beautiful sword here, the Right Slayer, which is great at slaying undead. And let's also give him a mithril rod. Interesting. Yeah, so yeah, this guy here can use anything. So let's just give him a mithril rod and let's gear him up. Boom, boom. But yeah, it's pretty generic what's going on here. There's nothing too out of the ordinary. There's basic stats are attack, health, MP. You know, it's just what it is. Nothing's gonna blow your mind. It's an old JRPG and it's Final Fantasy at its roots, but you know, it's a good staple. And the fact that you know that it doesn't go so that it's not so different and so complex, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing at all. So let's just go into a battle here and show you what exactly my guys can do. So there we go. It's random battles, so you never know what you're gonna find. And apparently the enemies in this area are not the best. But so let's just go on and show you guys some of the battles here. So each class has its own ups and downs. Like since my guy doesn't have any magic, he gets a new ability called Advance. So I'm able to do like more damage to these guys and just attack them, like use my advancing skill. And this guy right here, he's able to use magic and other things like that, but he's also able just to attack with potent weapons as well. So he's like a good blend of a white mage and a warrior. He's kind of like your battle wizard kind of guy. So it's pretty good. I quite like the red mage, so I think I'm going to do well with this here. And let's go with the magic right here. And the good thing about magic here, now you are limited to having so many spells in a certain slot, and you can only use a certain spell so many times. Like I have 10 uses of level 1 spells, but you know, well, it's not that big of a deal. So let's just go with the Blizzard, and I can either focus on one target, or I can go over to everybody and kill them all with reduced penalty there. So your spells aren't limited just to a single thing. You can make them area of effect if you so desire. So I quite like just the flexibility of this game in general. So let's do that. Let's also steal, which is the thief special ability, and as you imagine, he'll just gain an extra attack. And you may have noticed the combo there. He's able to hit 3 times, and oh, I got some eye drops there as well. So he's able to hit 3 times, which is good. So if you miss 1 time, you're able to make up for it by the other 2 hits and not lose all your damage. And so it's very forgiving in that sense. So that's great there. That's great there. So I'm gonna go to an area that has tougher enemies. So I'm just gonna do a quick jump cut to there to show you some more meatier battles. Alright, so I'm in an optional area right now, so let's see if I can fight some tougher enemies here. And just in general, so let's walk around here until I meet something. And because there are random battles, and there's no enemies on screen, some of you guys may be turned off by that fact that, hey, I like seeing the enemies on the screens. If I don't want to fight an enemy, I don't want to fight an enemy, you know, I just want to go around them. But with the random battle, you're forced to attack them, and with some classes, you're not even able to flee. You're just forced to fight or die, and that's a bit of a shame. But, you know, for what it is, I personally don't mind the fact that there's random battles, because I don't have to seek out each and every individual enemies, and if they don't respond, that's even more trouble. I can just wander about and grind easier. So there's ups and downs to either side. Some people may say it's dated, some people actually like the fact that it's old school like that. So, you know, take it for what it is. It may be a plus to you, it may be a minus to you. But yeah, that's what it is. And so, let's see, what else can you do? You can also change your weapons mid-game here, so, and without any penalty. So if I wanted to go from my wooden arrow to my holy arrow here and deal more damage to like some undead dudes, but there's no undead dudes right now, I can. So I'll just stick with my wooden arrow for now and just attack with that in general. So there's even flexibility to say, hey, this guy's undead. Maybe I can switch my items around to be more effective against them. and so that's good in that sense. It's very tactical, very nice, and just play at your own pace. And the music in general is very relaxing too. Even the battle music, it's just this whole game. It has a good vibe going for it, and play it your own way. And I quite like it for what it does. So let's just continue on. The leveling up is pretty standard, but the fact that it doesn't tell you what happens when you level up. Maybe a bit of a sad thing, because I personally like knowing what stats are increasing and what's going on. You can see your health going up, but you can't really see anything else happening. So that's kind of irks me a little bit. So you may think of like, hey, maybe I'm going to heal my guy right now. I'm going to heal all of them. No, I'm actually going to go over and heal these zombie guys for massive damage. So boom, let's do that. And so there's even tactical elements like that. So I quite like that you're able to use anything on anybody and see if it works. Quite a bit of experimentation. Holy crap! Say a word, Noble. There we go. All right, so bam. It's just good. I just like this game's flexibility, and I can't stress it enough. Just how much you're able to do. All right, so that's pretty much been my quick look at this, and I'll just quickly go over some of the pros and cons of this. Like some of the pros being just the great exploration in general, the ability to go where you want, even if you're gonna get curb stomped by the enemies in there. Like I view that as a plus. Some people may view that as a negative. Like they want a linear experience. I personally like the open-endedness and the ability to do what you want and gain great rewards for the great risk involved as well. So that's always been good in my eyes. So, and there's also the ability to do this little close-up thing here, and you can sometimes see sparklies in the area, and it'll open up hidden passages there. So you may be on the lookout for that to get extra items and things like that. So there's even little elements like that. Some people may not like the fact that you have to do that to find open areas like this, get a little camera sickness going in and out, in and out, in and out. But you know, whatever. It's just a little feature that you can use if you so desire, or you can just pass over and just go through the game. It's optional. It's optional. But yeah, I mean, also the fact that this game doesn't have voice acting may be a negative for some people. Some people just like the voice acting in general, and it adds a lot to it. Like it gets you more immersed in the world if it's good. But since this was on the DS and the voice acting was limited in there, they didn't have any recorded, so they have to go back and hire voice actors for this. While I do wish they did do it, because it just makes the game more appealing in general, I kind of understand them not doing it, but still I'll count it as a negative for some of those of you who like the voice acting, so you don't have to read all the time. But you know, you're pretty much expected to do that in any RPG in general, so I can't really hold it against it in that respect. But still, some people, alright. So, and also the fact that this guy is jumping into the fight on his own without me having to do anything. I love the fact that, you know, the people that you come across are actually useful, not cowering in fear. Like, I didn't even tell that guy to do that, and he did it for me. I like that. Like, having guys that are actually helpful to you and not just weighing you down. I even had a princess earlier, and wow, the battle encounter rate is up through the roof. Yeah, but that's your Grindfest JRPG for you there. That's what that is. Don't expect to go through this game without going through any random encounters whatsoever. It's just what's gonna happen. But yeah, just the ability. Oh, he's doing it again for me. He's even attacking one enemy. Oh, that's great. Oh, so I even had this princess earlier that healed me during the boss fights, and the boss fights are nice in general because they give you challenges, and you have to find their weaknesses and their strengths, and you know, it's pretty typical there. But at the same time, it's fun just experimenting and trying to find out what class combination works best to take out which boss. It's good in that sense, and the game does a great job of just your ability to play with it in general. So yeah. Alright, and another thing that may turn some people off is the price point of this game, being $16 or $17 on Steam. May turn some people off, but you're paying for the Final Fantasy brand in this regard. So it's just what it is at that point. you're paying for a good quality game that a lot of people enjoy and has a lot of history behind it. And if that's still not enough for you, you can always wait for a sale. And that's the beautiful thing about Steam and PC in general. You can just wait for a good Steam sale and get this game for dirt cheap, like good quality games for dirt cheap at a steal of the price. So just wait for them. And so yeah, there you go. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this game now. It's just been a quick look at this. I'm not going to go too in depth. So I hope you guys enjoyed my quick look. I hope I've informed enough of you guys, like saying, hey, is this for you? If it's not for you, some of the goods and the strengths and the weakness of this game. If you liked the video, please hit like, and if you liked me, maybe hit subscribe. And if you didn't like me or the video, then hey, your hair's looking fantastic today, and I love what you did with those shoes there. That's perfect for your outfit. Hit that like, please. So yeah, this has been Noble of Lost Paws. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys again. Ta-ta.